Okay, so we just had like a weird technical like weird hiccup thing where on my side I didn't see or hear Charles. He heard me, and apparently the software and the system that we use was picking up his audio. Anyway, so we're just starting anew here, and I did read an email from Cody Hamby, basically talking about the and we had another question about this in Twitter about the East Side expansion from MJMNC, um, about our thoughts on the East Tower being approved, as well as the video camera equipment. Cody specifically asked about the video camera equipment being upgraded on the west side, as it seems like different camera angles and different. Um, it just seems like different cameras have different levels of quality. Charles, first of all, what do you think about the East Tower? We have certainly talked about that on the show, but now I guess it's approved to move forward. What do you think?
I mean, it seems like in order to make this happen, I would imagine there's going to be some type of sponsorship put on there. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're looking for something like that. I would certainly, and if they are, I mean, would love to see someone memorized or memorialized in that fashion. But I'd also hate for someone to come in and like slap their logo on it and then take a name down, like Sean's or whoever's.
Yeah.
Like if we had Jerry Moore Field, right, and then somebody was like, "Oh, I want it to be my Banks Field," and what does that look like? So if we're searching out for those corporate sponsorships, I'd hate. I mean, that's great and all, but it would be really weird to have to take someone off, because I think once you put like someone that's special to the program on something like that, like Jerry Moore Plaza, it would be weird. I mean, that's his spot, right? That's where his statue is. It'd be weird to slap something else on it.
Yeah. Yeah, but as far as like, yeah, and I think that's something that I wouldn't want to see either, but it does seem like, and I think Coach Loggins would say this, that the path forward, like the only like thing that we know for sure going forward is good players help you win. And it feels like to me, and I know the Athletics would make the case probably in East Tower, even though we're taking resources away from like NIL and roster funding and diverting them into the tower, that will then generate money for those things. Like I understand that would be the case made, but at this time in history right now, it seems like to me that the greater need is to divert funds into the roster in recruiting. Because again, what I would say is if you don't do that really, 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 if you're not the best in our conference at it, or in our peer group at it, then so what if you got a tower? And this is kind of why everybody thought this season was going to be so critical, and it still is, by the way. I think like we got to get back on the plus side. We got to be playing bowl games again. But I don't think it's a coincidence that we were able to rush around and get the kind of players we did, to put the staff together that we did, with more NIL money than we've ever used in the past 5 years. I mean, I don't think that's not a coincidence.
I think that model is we're chasing something we'll never get.
What do you mean?
If you're going to say that the fan experience isn't important, then do you need fans? Can you be a good football team without fans?
We don't have a good fan experience.
Oh, we do, and that's why we need to continue to build that up. But if what I'm hearing from you, and I can be wrong, is that we don't need an East Tower. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I don't think. I think I'm more weighing like the opportunity costs. Like I'm trying to understand what the opportunity cost is. Like by doing this, are we giving up an opportunity to make sure we do well? Like, can we do both at the same time? I don't think I'm convinced that we can.
I don't think we're sitting here trying to sacrifice wins.
Well, if you're,
I mean, I think that's the connotation here is that like you either spend it here on the field or you spending it behind the East stands.
Yeah.
Isn't the goal always the goal to be successful?
Yeah, for sure.
Do we want to put we're not building these stands so nobody will sit in them, right?
Oh, 100%. No, but that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
so the whole point is that we want to have more people come to football games to make more money to create a better product.
Yes.
That will be a continuous revenue stream.
Yes.
Whereas if you just dumping some money into some things that may not work, there's only one ball, there's only 11 players on the field at the same time. And sure, depth is important and playmakers are important and all those things. Is that the be all end all? I mean, that's money that's gone.
I do. I think. Well, yeah. I mean, my personal.
So then we don't need fans. Someone is going to take it that way beyond me.
Someone's going to take what away?
Someone is going to get that takeaway from what you're saying beyond just me.
I mean, we have fans, and I want to make sure that we keep
winning
and we have good players.
What you're suggesting, in my opinion, is that some fans aren't important.
No.
And that they'll always be there.
Some fans, why wouldn't they be there? If we're winning, why wouldn't they be there?
How many sellouts do we have in a row?
A bunch.
Okay. Was the product perfect?
No. So you think no matter what, we're going to have sellouts, and that's why we should build the tower?
No matter what. No, I said that there's a reason people keep coming to the game. It's because there's an experience.
For sure. We have a great experience.
There's a reason people don't go to Georgia State games because there's
this is actually really great. This is a great because there is an equilibrium that we're talking about, and I think it's unknown. How many?
I would agree with that.
How many more? Obviously, we don't want to find this out, but it'd be interesting to know anyway. We play in a conference championship game in 2023. A fun year. So this is how it goes. Playing a championship conference game, 21, really good year, 10-win season. Miss a bowl game in 22, but we have all kinds of crazy stuff happen. College game day, it was kind of like a crazy thing. 23, we go back and play for a conference championship game, in a conference championship game. 24 is very underwhelming. It's the hurricane, 5-6. It's kind of blech. Now, sellouts across the board, to your point. I think we've sold out season tickets for 3 years? I think it's been 3 years. How many more seasons of 5 wins, missing bowl games would it take for the numbers to significantly decline?
I'll counter because I don't know that answer, and we don't want to find out.
Either, yeah.
So why isn't Homecoming sold out yet?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
wasn't
why?
the first games to go in the past to sell out were Family Weekend, Homecoming.
Yeah.
Then Black Saturday in some order.
Yeah.
Why isn't Homecoming sold out yet?
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really.
Is it because who comes to Homecoming?
People that
come to one game.
Yeah, they come to one game
and they don't invest in season tickets.
Oh, okay.
And the ticket price is how much a person?
Right.
$100.
Right. Is that how much Homecoming tickets are?
Single game Homecoming ticket is $100.
Yeah.
So we can have the same amount of seats that we do right now. We keep selling $100 Homecoming tickets, or we can add, let's just say 3,000. And those people who've been on those waiting lists, wherever they're coming from, can go buy those tickets. Not to say that once you raise prices, they're never come back down, right?
No.
Maybe they should.
I mean, if we added 25,000 tickets, if
we're 4-2, the weather might be more perfect than it was 2 weeks ago for Oregon State. When you think about fall,
which is hard to imagine, yeah.
Right. And all those things are going on around town. And Homecoming's not sold out technically yet.
See that, but that actually, I think that makes the case. So my brain works in that I understand there's scarcity. You have to pick one thing or the other. You can't always do, but if you could do 2, 3, multiple things at the same capacity with the same level of focus and commitment and excellence, just do it all then. Do all the things all the time. But if your theory is true, which I think what I'm following, I think what you're saying is the casual outside fan has already kind of fallen off because of
some have.
Okay. But I would say then that's a case to say, all right, well, then we need to make sure we don't fall off. And therefore, we need to make sure that we are able to. And first of all, it's important that number one, you got to have a staff in place that's obsessed with recruiting and talent evaluation to make sure that you can go get those. I do not mean this in a negative way at all, but those bargain gets in the portal that you've evaluated, like a guy like Isaiah Cummings, who's getting ready to be on the show. He didn't have the numbers, but Coach Loggins said it this week. He saw him and said, that could be the guy. And right now he's doing really, really well. I hope he has as good of a second half of the season or better that he's had the first half. But you need to make sure that you have the resources to make sure that you keep that up, because we can't fall off. And so that's my number one concern. I'm not anti-Tower just because anti-Tower. I don't even say I'm anti-Tower. I'm just more pro. We just need to make sure we're always doing a good job getting players in here. And if we start doing things that kind of take our eye off the ball, I think that's putting the cart before the horse a little bit.
But it's not like the football coaches are selling luxury boxes. Those are two different people doing two different jobs. And two different groups of people doing two different types of jobs. I don't think any football coach is like concerned about restrooms and plush seating.
I don't think they are.
And catering. No, their job is to win football games.
Yes.
But the moment we have someone who says, I'm not going to give you enough money to do your job, aka our last chancellor, that's the problem. And that actually happened.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen going forward, because we've seen that was a massive mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think football coaches sell luxury boxes. I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply saying,
well, who's taking their eye off the ball then?
I mean, if you do, or you say, I just have a hard time believing that you can be at the top of your peer group in supplying NIL funds for football. Let's just call a spade, football, while also trying to get donors, the people that are trying to give you money for this stuff. You're actually asking them to put it away in this other area. So you're diverting resources away at a time. That's the balance that I would want to make sure is struck appropriately, that we're not sacrificing on the field for something that we need to. I just that's my concern.
I mean, where does that trickle down to anywhere else, though? I mean, we can assume that someone who has a good business that turns profit decides that, well, instead of, choosing one or the other, they choose both, and then they don't give to something else on campus, such as, I don't know, baseball or basketball. Like, do we want a well-rounded athletic program, or do we want a football team at the university with nothing else?
Well, football though football is the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, you look. I mean, yes, I want all those things to be good, but it really does start with football being good. If football's not good, the campus panics, and we know that. Everything else can be worked on everything else. It's easier to build things and improve things if your primary cash cow is doing well. And, so that's like if the chancellor had the option of your football team going 4-8, but baseball makes it to the championship game in the Sun Belt Conference tournament, and basketball wins the Sun Belt Conference tournament, that's the barometer is kind of set.
NCAA basketball units are very, very lucrative, and
I'm not saying that I wouldn't like it. This isn't a personal, if we do go 4-8 football, but we are going to the NCAA tournament and winning games like JMU did last year, believe me, no one's going to be happier watching those games and us winning than me. I'm saying that it is clear, just based on the volatility that we've had the last few years, that when football doesn't do well, it's almost like football coughs and everybody else gets a cold, right?
If you have a waiting list for people to buy things that we can't provide, that eventually you won't have a waiting list.
Right, but that's the question I'm asking about. Like, I would like to know the economics and the logic of you're diverting resources away from who's on the field to
I think
build this
that's
tower.
I think that's also it's just an assumption.
Yeah, it isn't. I am assuming that because I
Okay,
don't know.
cool.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
This is a good discussion, though. Honestly, I'm not mad
Yeah.
at you or anything. I'm just trying to give you a different.
Well, I'm really mad at you. I mean, this really is. I mean, it is speculation. It is assuming. Yeah. So, I mean, I would just like to know because I just know it feels like I know making sure we have players on the field that are going to help us win to me is the number one priority. And if you can do something beyond that, that's another story. I would like to know. I'd like to have a case made for that just to ease my mind. But yeah, I mean, look, man, if I'm not going to sit here and say that seeing renderings of that stuff doesn't look cool. I mean, it looks awesome. You know, I mean, it did feel like at the time, Charles, you were like out of school and kind of more in tune with this stuff than I was as a student, but it felt like those east side bleachers went up really, really fast. Like capacity, like we needed more up there quickly, and they just threw them up there real quick.
Yeah, and I don't know what kind of conversations were had. I'm sure DJ could fill us in a lot on that. And yeah, it was done quick, but we had people watching the games in the trees. You know,
Yeah, I remember that.
It's probably a safety concern.
Yeah,
There, who knows how many deer stands were up and behind the scoreboard, and there was a lot less scoreboard to show, so there was a lot more space for people to watch from up there.
yeah,
And beyond the fact that of the stands, it's like, all right, get people in the stands, but also we need concessions and we need bathrooms and we need like updates to a lot of things. And it literally happened overnight, and it happened without winning either. It happened in 2005, long before we won a national championship. Like,
yeah,
like all it took was someone who cared and was like, this needs to happen, Kenneth Peacock. Like, this needs to happen. We need to make it happen. And guess what? People were like, yes, let's make it happen. And it happened. And it's been on a runaway train since.
yeah. That's true. Yeah. It was like it was 2008. Like we didn't have it in 2007. 2008 we had it. It's just there you go. We got a second deck. I'm gonna read this one thing. We're gonna answer quick. We're not gonna get. There's another email. I'm not gonna read it. We need to get to Facebook and then get to our guest here and move right along. This has been great. It's been good discussion, like you said, Charles. Will Robinson, our biggest conference rivals, Georgia Southern, JMU, Marshall, and Coastal. Where does Coastal rank on each of your list from greatest to least rival? What would Coastal need to do to move up on the list? Right now, Georgia Southern is still number one. JMU's number two for me. I gotta say, like, I really hate them. I love it when they lose. Marshall, if I'm going to be honest, as much as I appreciate historically what they bring to the table and their place in our history, I don't hate Marshall. I want to beat them. I don't hate them. I probably dislike Coastal more than Marshall. If I'm just going to be honest, just on an annoyance scale. I know that historically they don't compare. I think Coastal will be a footnote long term in our history. I don't think they're sustainable and long term. I think we'll look back. There was a 5, 6, however many year period where they were certainly rivals or we hated each other or whatever. But I think it was a flash. I think that's my opinion, Charles. I don't know what you think.
I'm pretty much dead even with that. I don't hate Coastal. I'm just annoyed when we lose to them.
Yeah.
Like, I have respect for Marshall. I absolutely hate Georgia Southern, and I dislike James Madison highly.
Yeah. Great question. I love that. Thank you, Will. There were some others on the list. Sorry, we're not sorry, but we need to scoot.
We need to scoot. Are we scooting to Facebook? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sorry. Okay. We're scooting to Facebook. Cool.
We will scoot as soon as I can scoot to it.
There you go. See, you would have gotten there faster had we not built the East Tower. He's pretending you didn't hear that.
I don't know. Something cut out. I didn't hear anything. And Nick Gord, in light of the James Franklin firing, what is the most amount of money you believe App would pay a coach to get off the mountain?
$1 million. They paid $1 million in December for a
I don't
coach to
think we're
leave.
I don't think we should pay more than that.
It's a lot of money.
Bryant Barberry, if you didn't go to App, what school would you have went to or attended?
Watching
Let's
my go
say
ahead.
like if you didn't, I'm gonna rephrase this. If you didn't get into App,
Looking back, if I could just reorganize my life here for a second, watching my son play football and just being around so many other football players, I think that I could have played like center or tight end or something at like LR, or Wingate or somewhere like that. Like I couldn't have played. I remember the first time I met Parker Collins. Like I always think like I'm a broad-shouldered kind of guy. I've always been kind of a strong dude. I met Parker Collins for the first time. I'm like, there's no way I can be Parker Collins. But I know a lot of guys that played at LR that that played at offensive line at LR and tight end and stuff. And I don't know. I think it would have been cool to try to play football. Even though I know that I probably couldn't have played any higher than that particular level. That would have been fun. But I think to answer that question, I would have liked to have taken a stab at maybe playing something. More so than just where would I have liked to have gone? Because honestly, this is kind of an impossible question because I never think about where I would have liked to have gone to college because of how much I enjoyed my time.
Yeah, and that was a tough one for me. I mean, as we all know, like I came to App State football games when I was a kid, when I was very young, grew up on it throughout high school, didn't change, didn't want to go anywhere else. Did I apply other places? Yes, only because guidance counselor said you should. You never know. And I'm like, what do you think? I'm stupid or something? And so I did apply to 3 other schools in this state and got into 2 of them. Did not get into one of them. Made the decision really, really easy.
Yeah, there you go.
But certainly, we all like to have some athletic aspirations as men or as boys that we were good at something or decent at something. Honestly, don't know. But if I had to say, if I had to choose like a football school to go to, because I enjoy football, I enjoy tailgating, I enjoy all that good stuff. Like, I really don't know. Like Virginia Tech was kind of cool. It's like kind of the same thing, but I'm not an engineer, right? That's not how my brain works. I'm not gonna like. I went to Clemson a couple different times. Like I thought that was neat.
Clemson's cool.
But I don't really know if like I was like, man, if I could have all the money in the world, like I would go to this school or anything. Like I never had a dream school.
Yeah.
I just had the place I wanted to go. Like I was very intentional. Like I knew what my path was.
Yeah, I think had mom kept us in Florida growing up there, I thought when I was in high school, I thought I was going to like Florida State or something when I was, back in the day. But I could have seen it had we stayed down there. I could have seen me going to like UCF with some friends of mine and enjoying that. There's nothing whatsoever like Appalachian State, but I think it would have been fun. It's a huge school. It's like 65,000 kids go there, so I definitely would have gotten in.
Right.
But anyway, interesting question.
This question from the Cricket Whisperer himself. What are the top 3 telling signs you have crossed a beach chicken in lieu of a chicken or a seagull? I'll hang up and listen.
What?
I don't know where he's going, and that's why the name is anonymous. But I think we can all figure it out. I guess we all know what a chicken is. We all know what a seagull is.
Yeah.
But like a beach chicken is it a cross? Like is it like a?
They have a drinking problem,
right? Is the beach chicken like the dude who like when you walk into a joint that looks like he's been there for 4 hours and it's lunchtime?
Yep. Yes. Liver spots. A chipped beak. No sand in its feathers because it's not near the sand. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting question. I don't know.
Flip-flops.
Say what?
Flip-flops.
Flip-flops. Yeah. Flip-flops. A faded Josh Norman jersey.
Airbrush t-shirt. I don't know.
Yeah. Airbrush t-shirt. Yeah.
Airbrush tank top. I don't know.
Sand spurs.
Matthew Johnson. Where does Billy Napier land if and when he's canned, and why didn't he do well at Florida after crushing it at Louisiana?
Ooh.
Well, this is your brother's question, so I'm going to go first if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I guess because there's no Georgia, Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee in the Sun Belt. Like, there's like, I mean, there's. I think he was in a spot where they kind of like made that commitment to him. Maybe going from UL to Florida was a little bit of a hike, right? Perhaps, you know, like John Summerall, he would have been better at like, hey, can you hack at the AAC or the American or some other conference and prove yourself? Are you actually ready? I mean, he did a lot of tutelage under good coaches at big schools, but I mean, Louisiana was good when he was there, but man, historically they've just been like okay.
Yeah,
they haven't really been awesome. Now, before we were in the Sun Belt and we were turning on bowl games on December 17th, they were always playing in the New Orleans Bowl. They weren't playing in the New Orleans Bowl at 10-2. They were like 7-5.
Yep.
Like, they were the Sun Belt team that made the bowl game. Maybe they were 8-4.
Yep.
And they didn't look good. Like, it, you know.
Didn't play defense.
I'm telling you, there's not many stadiums in the Sun Belt who have reduced capacity.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that tells you anything. So.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I think I've said on the maybe I didn't say on the show, but man, if you had told me that between Coach Drinkwitz and Billy Napier, that one would be like the 8th highest paid coach in the country after getting new contracts and blah, blah, blah. And he's climbed their way up to be like, you know, a very legitimate coach in the SEC. I would have said that's Billy Napier was going to do that. Like, I would have said that 100%. I've actually been really surprised he hasn't done as well. Could it be as simple as it's the Peter principle? Like he was at his most effective recruiting, leadership, everything else when he was at Louisiana, and certainly the portal and everything else did change things. But his best team was 21. That was early in all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if maybe he would also struggle at Louisiana in this new environment too. Maybe it was just too much for him, roster management. Maybe he's a recruiting and a builder guy. Maybe he's not a salesman. I mean, I don't know. I've been very surprised at his volatility there. But I mean, coaching's hard. He's in the SEC. It's hard, but
well, you have expectations at Florida. At Mizzou, there are none.
They're just happy. Yeah, they're happy. They're ranked. Yeah.
Please don't take him. Here's another extension.
Yeah, I'm making $10 million a year, Coach Drinkwitz. I think Billy is making like $8 million. I mean, it's a lot, but yeah.
Have you ever thought about what if Scott Satterfield was our coach in 2021?
No.
Me neither. I just thought about that right now. Good story. Hogan Sellers. In their first 6 games, Coastal has only scored in the first quarter of one of those. What we were talking about earlier, AJ. 6 total points, 6 games in the first quarter. Not really a question, but found that unusual. Yes, it is. That's why we got to get out in front of them.
Yeah.
Joe Sullivan. Last week's question, but not really. What's more real, aliens or Georgia State's attendance numbers?
It's just egregious, man. I mean, it's like, what kind of integrity do you have to actually publish that?
None whatsoever.
It's unbelievable.
Like, someone's got to be like, man, can I just be off attendance duty? Like, can I?
I want to sue them for that.
Cameron Taylor, beat the chickens. Tired of hearing that mouth or that beak. No question. Fantastic. I love it. Jay Neal, let me begin by saying I'm a purist. Football should only be played on green grass, colored turf, or field. But if App were to go the way of Boise or the Beach Chickens and install a non-green turf, why would a black field be the obvious choice?
That'd be a terrible choice.
And we couldn't wear black at home anymore.
Yeah, but also it would be 1,000 degrees. Like that's the hottest possible. It's already hot on the field. And I know Jay knows this, but like, go to the end zones. Like, on like a summer day, like, take my kids up there when you used to be able to walk on the field. It's hot on the black. It's hot, period. But
doesn't Eastern Michigan have like a gray field? Like it's like a light gray. I think they do, or they used to.
Yeah, black, that would be brutal. It would look cool, but it would be brutal. We'd feel in the stands. It'd be all this heat radiating off the field. Yeah. Global warming.
Mary Stoodle, I enjoy the game Saturday in the cozy confines of Center Park Stadium. Question, what do we need to do to get our punt returners to catch the ball? Giving up 10 to 15 yards every punt return is not ideal. So I'll say this. If there's good players on Georgia State's roster, it's a punter. He was lights out on Saturday, and I think I noticed that he was pretty good going in. So I'm very curious because of the way Turner Field is built. It's not like a traditional football stadium. I think there was parts of the broadcast in the second or third quarter, I can't remember, where the white balance was off, and you were like, it was not picking up the parts of the game that were in the shade. Maybe it was worse on my TV than others, but I was like, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And I remember when being a Braves fan, and they talked about during the playoff stretches, they've got that concourse that's the highest part, and they got like the roof over it. So there's parts of the sunlight at that time of the year that'll get in, and they were talking about how the shadows, like when a ball is pitched from the mound to the plate and it's pitched in the shade, goes through the sunlight, and then it goes back to the shade. That is really hard for kickers to pick up, or batters, you know what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's something they deal with. And in turn, like, I know it was had to be when we were facing one side of the field when we were returning, but that ball gets into the sun and it gets into the shade and it's hard to pick up, and your eyes have to catch that. I may be overthinking this tremendously. I know we have not called every punt either, but maybe I saw that more at Georgia State, and they had a good punter, and that's where I'm going with that.
Little side note, just in my my brain here, Steve Finley, who used to be a center fielder in Major League Baseball, played for the Padres and the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. I remember very specifically, now that you mention it, he hated playing at Turner Field, and I remember seeing him play and making errors in center field at Turner Field because of what you just described, just the shadow and the layouts of the of how he saw the ball in center field. It was just a field that he just couldn't. And he was a great player. But yeah, maybe there's something to that. It definitely looks weird when we play there in the shadows. It's very distinct. It's very odd.
But if we're just going to answer this on a football basis, 10 to 15 yards of field position, losing it's not great. What's worse is them getting the ball by muffing a punt. And like, if you can't get under it, don't get under it. Get out of the way. Whether you're Jordan Favors. And when you think about that, like whether we're going to talk about that call anymore, could our punt returner see the ball enough to tell Jordan to get out of the way?
Yeah,
because he was getting blocked, but it wasn't. It may have been active, but it wasn't exactly like heavy duty active.
Yeah,
you know, like
for sure.
It was a little handsy, but not too bad.
Yeah.
So in those situations, like if a punt returner can truly see where that ball is, he's like, I can't track it. It's coming in wobbly. It's coming in short. Like they yell something, fire, ice, whatever, get out. And usually the guys can do that. I'm sure as good as our special teams are, that may have just been a one-off game thing.
I agree with Charles.
All right, enough of overanalyzing punt return catching or fair catches. Alan Parker, how much stock do you put into the App versus Coastal rivalry? As someone who used to brush it off, we got a paragraph here. It's annoying how they have seemed to have our number recently, at the point where a win Saturday would be just as satisfying as one over Marshall, JMU, or Southern. Okay. Tim Beck knows his seat is getting warm, but if he keeps winning this one, it will buy him time with the hundreds of fans in Conway. If no other game the rest of the year, he will have his team ready on Saturday. How important will it be to start fast, and is this an early must-win game in the Loggins era?
If I was Dow Loggins, I would treat this entire season, every game, like live or die. Like we got to get to bowl eligibility. We got to stack wins. That's how, I mean, and I think he is approaching it that way. I hate admitting this, but Coastal absolutely is a thing. It's become a thing. They have had our number, and it's been very, very frustrating. I don't think it's going to be some sustained thing. I don't think in 15 years we'll talk about the ongoing Coastal Carolina Appalachian thing. I really don't. But I think that now is a great time while they're low to take care of it and set all things right. But I mean, it lasts since 2020. It has been a thing. Started with Gallagher and McCall and all this stuff. And we've had some great games. We've had some bad games, but it's become something. And until it's not, it is a thing.
I may be in the minority here. It is a thing. I may be in denial that it's a thing, and I don't believe I'll celebrate when we win on Saturday, like we've got our monkey off our back or anything like that.
I'm with you on that.
Order is restored.
I'm with you on that, but I can't deny that like they're the pebble in the shoe at this stage,
and they love being that. You know what I mean? They love their role here, and they think we don't care, but man, it makes them happy.
Yeah,
and that's just like anybody else. You know, we love beating App State.
Yeah, target on the back. Yeah, but that I think that's the difference. Is I think people our age will do this and say, "Oh, we should beat Coastal," like, ugh. But we don't think like, "Oh, remember the season we beat Coastal?" I think there are younger fans, maybe current students, that maybe think differently. Like, yeah, that's the year we finally got Coastal again, because that's how that's what they've experienced as students right now. I don't look at it that way. I don't look at we finally got the Coastal. No, I'm like, no, we should beat them. This is annoying. We should beat them. Let's beat them and send them back. Where you can have bigger, better stories to tell about other programs, but for the younger people, I'm telling you, it's a thing for you and I. I agree with what you said. We have to acknowledge it, but I'm not going to. I want to beat JMU just as bad or worse.
Darren Webb, back in August, most of us would have signed up for a 4-2 start. The juice from the last two games has moved bowl eligibility from a hope to an expectation. What is your 2025 mid-year grade for this team, and what are your expectations for the remainder of the season? # all of our goals are still in front of us.
I like that. Darren, I like that. Darren, send me your address. I like that.
I'm going to say B-.
Mid-year grade. So we got done saying you can't control your schedule. It's your schedule. You got to play the games on your schedule. I think we played 3 really bad games. I think the Lindenwood game was bad. Southern Miss game was bad. Boise, we were outclassed. The other games we've battled and won. B- is probably really good. That might be where I want to land. I think when I originally read this, I think I wanted to say C+.
That C+ sound really negative though.
Yeah, a 4-2. So like again, the 4 wins have been against some truly bad teams, but we played. I mean, look, do we really want to compare like the 2015 Sun Belt and we won 11 games in 2015? Do we really want to look at really how good those teams were, that we played? 4-2. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, most of us would have signed up for. So we're talking about the expectation prior to the season. What were we saying? 6-6.
So I
there was
think
a lot of that, right?
Yeah, I think given the improvements we made over the past 2 weeks, to Darren's point, not turning the ball over, JJ playing really, I think, within himself, but also playing really well. Defense being a consistent, I'll say B- sounds good. I think that's
Right. So let's say we win on Saturday. Does that letter grade change?
$5-2. I don't know. I'll probably keep it at it depends on how we play. You said it best, I think, back in August. If we go 6-6, that doesn't tell the whole story. You got to see how did you finish? How'd you start? How'd you finish? What's our record going to be? And I don't know. I think you got to play on Saturday. I think we got to play on Saturday before it's a good question, but I'm following your wisdom here, Charles. So
if we lose on Saturday, does that letter grade change?
Yeah,
Sure
yes.
does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll go back down to C+ or a C. Yeah.
Expectations for the remainder of the season. I think we have to make a bowl game.
If you come in halfway point 4-2, you got to make a bowl.
Have to.
Yeah.
We can't go 2-4.
Especially like we have to. I can't remember who posted this earlier on Twitter, but we're playing 3 really bad teams in the second half of this schedule. Really bad, and we have to capitalize on 2 of those for sure.
David Phillips, all-star contributor, fantastic question here. One of the best of the week. Charles, can you ask Alex who won the Panthers-Cowboys game? I asked.
Wait, I'm sorry, you broke up there. What?
Yeah, I know it happens. It seems to be just what happens here.
It's the internet. It's the internet. Bad internet.
Thank you, Rico. Man, it's so funny to me that Rico Dowdle was the starting running back for South Carolina when we beat them in 2019.
Oh my gosh! Yes, that's where that name is from. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh,
that is funny.
Last one. Ryan Mullis, now that the NIL and TV deals are on top of the mind in college sports, so we need to campaign all fan bases of the Sun Belt to tune into each other's matchups for the sake of ratings and support. I mean, if I wasn't doing this podcast right now, I'd be watching South Alabama and Arkansas State.
We definitely, in our household, we do. I mean, I think JMU and Louisiana played on Saturday, and we had a really busy Saturday. But while we were home and moving and shaking, we had it on. We were watching the JMU Louisiana game. Yeah, I prefer doing that just because we're getting ready to play JMU. I want to see JMU a little bit.
Does this need to expand to all non-power conference matchups? I mean, like we should. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, and I want to see if JMU is good or Old Dominion is good, I'm going to turn them on if they're playing someone.
Yeah,
especially of interest. I'm not going to turn on Coastal Carolina and Charleston Southern.
Why not?
You know what I mean? But like if ODU's playing like Virginia Tech or something, or Coastal's playing, I don't know, Liberty or
for sure.
Virginia, or if it's of interest and we can measure ourselves on that said game.
Like, actually, I don't understand. I don't actually understand it. No, I mean, I do understand, but there are some App fans that'll like, I want to watch. I can't remember the game that was. I know that we have like a kind of an Appalachian tie to like Mizzou and Alabama, but the Mizzou Alabama game might have better players and higher caliber athlete, whatever, be a quote unquote better game. But the JMU Louisiana game impacts like my fandom like directly. So like I'm gonna watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you watch your peers and you watch who's in your conference. That just makes sense to me. I don't know. No hate, but that's how my mind works.
I agree. I'm with you. So that is it.
Cool.
This technical charade of shows.
Yeah. Apologies for the internet folks, but it was good. It was a good satchel. Darren, send me your address, and I'll keep it real with Bruce too. Bruce Payne. Bruce, send us your address, and we'll put a card in the mail for you, sir. I'm guessing you are a sir if your name's Bruce. So we're going to go to, Charles, anything else before we go to our segment with Isaiah Cummings?
I think we've hit it for this week.
Very good. Okay, so want to thank our special guest sponsor, Mountaineer Mania, the coolest place to get gear in Boone. And I know we haven't even mentioned this yet, but there's a gold out, or I guess the fans have. I guess it's a grassroots deal. They're encouraging people to wear gold. which, gold pops him. It's a school color. It's pretty cool, I guess. So go get your gold gear, and Mountaineer Mania is where you got to go to get some gold merchandise. Check them out, 497 West King Street. It has been the number one spot for Mountaineer fans for like 45 years. Their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, 8:30 to 6 p.m. I think they're open later, though, on game days. I think they're open till like 8 or 9. And then Sunday, 1 to 5. Every single one of your purchases, folks, goes a portion of that goes back to Appalachian State Athletics to support them, which is great. And I think Nathan Horniman, I think he, the Wing King, I think he posted in the 333 Club that he went into Mountaineer Mania and said that's where he's going to shop for his gear from now on, because he enjoyed his last visit. He doesn't live in Boone. So he makes like an annual trip back, but checked it out. So really happy with Mountaineer Mania. So, but yeah, so we have Isaiah Cummings on the show, number 4, the tight end. Is he a super senior, Charles? Or is he, he's not a COVID kid. I think he's just a senior, redshirt senior, right?
Yeah, I think, of course, I closed the box out. I had it up earlier, but I think there was one year he said he didn't redshirt, but he had 1 year where he only played like 3 games. So something.
Oh, he also said he was there 4 years, but I counted 3. So anyway, whatever. But still, it was a good conversation. He's obviously having a very good year, good personality. And I got him in trouble with his parents, which I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I don't know. I feel conflicted about it, but still excited that he joined us in the BGP Lounge, our Mountaineer Mania segment. So folks, sit back, find a comfortable place to sit, grab a pipe or a nice cigar, a smoking jacket, your favorite beverage, maybe a Peak Week beer from Boonshine, and get ready to hear the soothing sounds of Appalachian State tight end Isaiah Cummings.